Hi there, this is Rohan Meshram again, and welcome to the part 2 on installing and setting up video. So in this video, I would demonstrate you on how do you install some of the important software that are required for performing molecular dynamics and simulation. So besides those software, I have missed out a few software that I should have mentioned in my previous video. Those include installing OpenBabel, installing Spdbv. I would cover up installation of these two softwares in this video as well. One more thing that during while I was explaining about Notepad, my computer screen went dark. Therefore, I would also cover up the installation of Notepad++ as well in this video. Okay, so now let us begin. To begin with, we would go to the same folder that I have told you what we have in our previous video. I would start out with installing Spdbv. Spdbv is one of the open source and very easy to use molecular visualizer. I prefer it because it has got its GUI, which is very user friendly, and you don't have to remember any command. That becomes an essential task if you want to visualize it using either PyMol, or you want to visualize it using your RASMol. So SPDBV being more graphical is my choice. It is all up to you if you want to use PyMol, or if you want to use Chimera, if you want to use Vega ZZ or Rasmol. It is all up to you. But for whatever we are going to learn, I am going to use SPDBV for most of the time. SPDBV is also called as Deep View. So you can obtain this SPDBV from its website. All you need to do is to type in Google, search for SPDBV download. It would take you to the link, and when you download the Windows version, you would get some archive file that would look like this. Or in order to install this SPDBV, all you need to do is to extract the archive to somewhere in your computer. So my favorite location is C drive. Therefore I would extract everything on the C drive, hit OK. It would say yes, it would start processing, and there you go, it's done. Let us check it out if it has been installed properly or not. Okay, in C drive we have got these SPDBV. Yes. Okay, now you can start this SPDBV by double clicking this application icon, and you are up and running for using SPDBV. So to make it more accessible, I would create its shortcut on my desktop. So to do this, right click, send to, and then select desktop so that it would create a shortcut. Okay, here we go, it's done. Now check it out over here. The shortcut has arrived. Yes, SPDBV is up and running. The next thing that I was supposed to tell you was about installing your OpenBabel. Yes, I would go to that download folder, software, then again software. In Allied software you might have this OpenBabel. OpenBabel is one of the very convenient software that you can use for format conversion. During our molecular docking as well as in molecular dynamic simulation, many a time you would need to convert the file from one format to another format. Well, say for example, from smiles to SDF format, from SDF format to PDB format. We are going to do all this application using this OpenBabel program. Therefore it is also one of the most important component for our syllabus. Therefore we need to install it. The fish icon would say yes, go ahead. All you have to do is to click on this I agree button. Your OpenBabel program would be installed in C drive program files x86 folder, and it would create its own folder OpenBabel 2.3.0, and all you have to do is to click next over here and it would install. It might show. Okay, if you click on this button, when you click finish, it would automatically run OpenBabel. Yes, the OpenBabel is running very fine. I will let you know later on how do we use this OpenBabel program when we perform the interaction analysis. It is very handy. Okay, so we have done with Spdbv, we have done with OpenBabel. Now let us talk about this Notepad++. Notepad++, as I have already told you, it is a software that that is used for editing the text. Okay, we are going to use this software, Notepad++, or we would need any text editor in order to edit the configuration files that are required for running your NAMD simulation. So I already have some another file, I already have some another software which I would be using. That software would be TextPad, but I am not sure about if TextPad is open access or not, but I am very sure that Notepad++ indeed is a open access software, so you can use Notepad++ instead of TextPad. It would work the same way, in the same fashion. So let us install this Notepad++. Here we go. All you need to do is to follow all the commands, all the instruction. You have no option but to click next and finally install. Yes, finish. It would open up in a new Notepad++. Over here you can use your codes, you can run whatever you have written and everything. Okay, computer people might already be aware of this thing. Okay, now we have done with Notepad. Now let us install VMD. VMD is a software that is used for visualizing the molecular dynamics trajectories. So you can download it from University of Illinois. If you want to download some newer version, if it is available, I'm not sure if the new version is available. So whatever I have, I'm going to tell you how do we install it. All you need to do is to double click on the installer and click on install. What happened? Yes. Then finally finish. Your VMD is installed. We are going to use this VMD for visualizing the trajectories that we will be calculating after performing molecular dynamics simulation. Okay, now in order to perform molecular dynamic simulation, we would be using an open source popular software called as NAMD, or people also refer it as NAMD. Okay, that is present in your NAMD folder. All you need to do is to extract this archive into some file. I would extract it to my C drive and hit OK. Yes. Okay. Now one thing that I would like to mention is that this NAMD also supports your Cuda, and it is it has been evolved as one of the most important software that is compatible with graphics card. All in all, I want to convey that you can use GPU support for running an AMD. Okay, so if you have a good graphics card, then I would suggest you that you download the version which is for GPU version. So my PC on which I am installing, well, it don't have a good graphics card in it, therefore I have downloaded the multi-core version. But if you have a good graphics card already installed on your PC, I would suggest you that you use the GPU version instead of CPU. The GPU version are way too fast in calculating the molecular dynamics simulation trajectories, and those calculations are very efficient using the GPU mode of this software. So if you have installed if you have GPU card from NVIDIA, then I would suggest that you should also download and install Cuda for accelerating that GPU, for managing the NVIDIA graphics card and GPU acceleration. It is essential that you also download that Cuda. Okay, so since we are not using the GPU version, and we are using this CPU version which we have already extracted over here, what you can do after extracting it to your C drive, you can rename it to simple NAMD so that it would become easier for you to give the command NAMD. Yes, here we go, and done, your software is installed. What one more thing you can do is that you can set path to the environment variable for this NAMD program, so that you can directly run it through command line without giving the path. So if you know how to do that, you are advised to do it, so that every time you run, you don't have to provide the path. So since it is a bit complicated and out of scope of this tutorial, I would just let you know how do we run this NAMD program through this command line. Okay, so we are going to have separate video lectures on how do we use NAMD, how do we prepare files for those molecular dynamics and simulation, how do we run those molecular dynamics and simulation, and all those things are coming up next. This video is only intended for uh, gearing you up with how do you install the stuff and become ready for the upcoming ride. Okay, this is how you do your molecular dynamics and simulation softwares are installed. Okay guys, so this is it for time being.